Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel. It's your fellow servant Shemaiah. First and foremost, let's give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash, and double honor to our elders and apostles, great millstone. This lesson right here is going into bad times, you know. And I'm talking about dealing with your emotions, dealing with your feelings, and dealing with your thoughts on things, because you know, the world makes it seem as if we're able to solve all our problems, and when things don't go our way, that we're doing something wrong. You know, the world has the way the system is set up, it has a way of tricking you out of your position. It can make you desperate. You know, the feeling of despair could come upon you. The feeling of helplessness or hopelessness can easily creep upon you if you're not grounded in the understanding of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. If you're not grounded in the fear of the Lord, you know, and understanding that everything that we've been taught here was a lie, and the Lord is exposing a lot of us to the truth. So, and receiving that truth, a lot of us are, you know, we weren't mentally, we didn't grow up knowing this. So to a lot of people, it could bring, like I said, despair, fear. Even worse, it could bring doubt. You know, you fight with your flesh every day because your flesh was taught one thing, but your spirit was like, you know, this truth is what I've been thirsting for all my life. Now that you have it, what do you do with it? I want to go here. I'm gonna start here in James chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, "From whence come wars and fighting among you? Come they not hence, even of your lusts that war in your members?" All right, our thoughts, our eyes, our ears. Hey man, the devil Esau, did a number on us. But the beautiful thing is, the Lord has brought remembrance back to us, remembering who we are, remembering what life is really about, how simple it was. Like as children, you know, children have the best, perspective when it comes to life in real life. You know, they have no worries, they have no doubt, they have no fear. You know, they just go with the flow. Whatever happens, good or bad, it is what it is. They take it for what it is. All right? And that's how the Lord told us to come back to him like babes. You know, when you receive this truth, you understand a lot of these things are out of your control. And therefore, you put your faith and your trust in the Lord more and more every day. You should be. You know, whatever's out of your control, hey, you put it in his hands. Whatever you think you got in your control, you still put it in his hands. You know, and whether or not it works out or not, you take it cheerfully. Verse 2, it says, "Ye lust and have not, ye kill and desire to have, and cannot obtain. Ye fight and war, yet ye have not because ye ask not." Where's your faith at? You haven't asked the Lord with a sincere heart to help you. The majority of our people, because of the way that we were brought up in this society, believe that the only way the Lord is working with you is by making you prosperous or making you, have a certain status or look a certain way. When the Lord don't deal with, with that aspect. You got to understand there's a spiritual world that the Lord is a part of. And that spiritual world, your spiritual side, the side of your spiritual man or woman, is what the Lord is focused on. How big is that? How big is your stature spiritually? Are you doing the things that's according to your flesh or to your spirit? All right? And what's more according to your spirit when it comes to our connection with the Heavenly Father? Right? Keeping his word. keeping the testimony, trusting in his word, not trusting in Esau, Edom, and the government. Yeah, we use the word, but not abusing it. But yeah, that's it. We use the word, but not abusing it. It's like whatever we can get out of this world, as long as it doesn't cause us to sin, take advantage of it all day, every day. But don't put your eggs in all your eggs in one basket and believe, because I be hearing not brothers, I can't even call these dudes brothers. I'll say those on the plantation with me, these guys, most of them they worldly anyway, right? They looking bad, stressing, worrying about why, the system didn't help them out with this and with that, and hey, but with this truth, we're having faith in Yahweh Shema Shah. You got to ask the Lord. We don't go down to Egypt for help and not require the mouth of the Yahweh Shema Shah. And then, to have this brotherhood, we got brothers that can actually tell us, and help us health-wise, situational-wise, emotionally-wise, whatever aspect you could think of, who the Lord covered all bases for us. All right? It say, verse 3, ye ask and receive not because you ask amiss, that ye may consume it upon your lusts. All right? A lot of people, they want to ask for things, but they're still controlled by their flesh. They're still controlled with the ways that we've been brought up in this world. When it comes to faith, you have to say sometime, I'm willing to lose it all. I'm willing to lose it all. What did Abraham do? His firstborn son of Sarah, a promised seed, Isaac. Abraham was ready to sacrifice Isaac. You get it? That's faith. And that's the faith we got to have. That's the faith we got to stand on. All around Ratazah, the Lord give us that faith that no matter whatever Yahweh Shema Shah is doing is for the benefit of not only myself, but for our future. Okay? Because the Lord promised it. That's saying that you truly believe in the Lord. The Lord told Abraham, I'm going to make you, your seed is going to be great. And Abraham was ready to sacrifice Isaac for that truth, with that faith, with that word. He's willing to sacrifice Isaac. How else are you supposed to be, how else are you supposed to bring forth seed if you're going to sacrifice, the seed that the Lord gave you as a promised seed? That takes up faith, because the Lord said, regardless, this is what He's going to do. So no matter what it looks like to you, no matter, because we've been taught all this type of bullshit, that you got to have this, you got to do this. Man, that's a lie. Everything the world told you is a lie. I'm going to jump down, though, because there's a point I want to get. There is a point I want to get. In verse 9. All right? Matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 7. It says, submit yourselves, therefore, to the Most High. Resist the devil. Resist this world. Resist your thoughts. Right? Resist the devil, and he will flee from thee. Draw nigh to the Most High, and he will draw nigh unto you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, which means your mind. Ye double-minded. So you got to put in your heart, put in your mind to be single-minded. Keep the first thing first, as the beloved Akim always tell me, at the camp, GMS Orlando. Keep the first thing first, which is who? Which is what? Yahweh Shah, and pleasing Him. No matter what we have to suffer, because we're not suffering in vain. Even though you can't see it or you can't receive, you don't necessarily receive anything in this world. Well, shit. What do you want in this world that's going to be corrupted that you want to receive? The Lord gave us crowns. Lord, what do we obtain unto those crowns? And that's what our eyes should be focused on. The gift that the Lord gave us, starting with this faith. He said, be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to heaviness. All right, so we're putting on as the elect, understanding that these things come with being a part of the elect, letting go of the world. Because to a wicked soul, this world would be in this world, a wicked soul would be happy. An unjust or unrighteous spirit would be happy. They could indulge in all their wants, all their desires, their fantasies, and they'll be filled. They'll feel joy, they'll feel laughter. But for the elect, it's not so to us in this world. We hate this shit. Oppression makes a wise man mad. And the wisdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the fear of the Lord, has us understand it's well within our rights to say, man, this shit don't make no sense. We're oppressed here. Our spirits are oppressed here. You don't have to physically be locked in chains to be oppressed. You don't have to have anybody physically beating you over the head with a billy club to be oppressed. All right? Simply because things are out of sort or out of pocket or upside down, your children not listening to you. All right? Or having animosity against you, and they don't even know why. It's just the curses, and the spirits, so on and so forth. Your wife, your husband have issues against you and don't even know why, and it's oppressive. The food that we eat oppress our bodies. The water that we drink, things that's supposed to be natural, things that's supposed to be given to us by the Most High, these things are manufactured by the damn devil, Esau Edom. And we can't get no peace out of it. That shit is oppressive. Right? But it says, verse 10, because that's the part of our joy being turned into heaviness. It say, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. Speak not evil one another, brethren. He that speaketh evil of his brother, and judgeth his brother, speaketh evil of the law, and judgeth the law. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge. There is a lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who art thou that judgeth another? Right? And that lawgiver is Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So we're not gonna get too much into letting people throw us off point or off track with what we have to do. Right? As it said, focus on the Lord. Focus on the things of the Lord. Focus on the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And at the end of the day, we'll be okay. We'll be straight, man. Ain't nothing out here worth that understanding. Let me see. I probably got like 5 minutes. See if I can finish this off. I got one more precept I'm gonna get, and I'm gonna hit it. Matthew chapter 5, verse 4 says, blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Right? Because the Lord knows those who's in mourning, who's mourning righteously. A lot of these people out here, man, they're mourning because they haven't turned to the Lord. They depend on this system. They trust in this system. They think that some way, somehow, if they subjugate their will to food stamps or a certain way they want you to act at work, that you're gonna be promoted and get it back, and then they end up with what they say, the short end of the stick, and then they be looking all dumbfounded. But guess what? They'll do it again, over and over and over again if they can. But no, we doing that with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. No matter how many times we stumble, we fall, a righteous man get up 7 times, fall 7 times and get up 8. All right? That's all I had to do, man. I just had a little, a little encouragement I wanted to get up on, for brothers out there, for Akim and Aqua, brothers and sisters out there that's in the truth, that feel like things ain't going your way or whatever, man, hey, you gotta show that shit with that old song. You gotta shake the dust off your shoe. You gotta brush the dust off your shoulders, man. Get back up and keep fighting, man. You know, happy are those that mourn, because they're gonna be comforted. You're gonna get comfort, man. Just don't beat yourself up too much, and don't pay too much attention to the world. You know, don't think that going back into the world is gonna help you from your situations. All right, with that, I'm close out. Hopefully this is edifying to the elect. Giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, B'Hashem, Yahweh Shah, B'Hashem, Ruach HaKodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Till next time, Kwame Yasharallah. Wa Abba Baba.